For those of you who maybe, I don't know, I think I got kicked off the agenda at some point, but Ella proposed this show every year. Once a year, we do a call for exhibition proposals that then are voted on by our steering committee. Animals was one of those shows, and the other show that we selected this year that is being put together by a member was Ella's show about mushrooms. We included a little bit of that proposal in our weekly agendas, which is I think how some people started to get started on the mushrooms. But Ella very much wanted to have an info session to chat with you guys more in depth about all of her fun ideas of what this show could be. So without further ado, Ella's going to go over her thoughts and then we'll give time for questions. And that's that.
Thank you for staying after the meeting. Really, I'm happy that you are interested in this. So I'll be maybe a bit wobbly going about it because last night I made a lot of notes. We created like a brainstorming sheet on Google. And so now I just highlighted stuff that I really need to touch upon so that we are making progress and are on the same page. So as Rachel said, can you hear me, guys? Can you understand my accent? Should I?
Yes, we can understand.
I believe. Okay. So my invitation for I thought a lot about this show before I made the proposal, and I was very happy that they accepted it. I thought they'll find it a bit, I don't know what I thought, but I'm happy that it went through, and I'm happy that it created enthusiasm both with those who chose it and both with the community of artists, because like 3 months ago already I heard you guys working on mushrooms. So working on mushrooms was wonderful, and we had in the studio, those who went in the studio, we had a wall of mushroom pictures from the internet. But I wanted to make sure that I've seen lots of lovely drawings of mushrooms and paintings that you guys created. But I wanted to remind you, because somehow, as Rachel said, it got lost from the agenda for a period of time. I don't know why it disappeared. And then we slapped it back, and now it evolved a bit. So I think it behooves me to do this update and listen to your questions and thoughts and see how we go about it. So from start, I was thinking of mushrooms, not just literally. That is lovely to have, drawings of mushrooms. But besides the lovely drawing of mushrooms, I invite you to create another body of work, submit everything, the lovely mushrooms that you already made, but also if you can feel enthusiastic or inspired by what I'll be reiterating and developing from the original agenda. So think also about the competition that if everybody submits just mushrooms, is gonna happen what happened at the animal show, that people submitted like 30 lions, and you can't have a show just with 30 lions. So just 2 lions got into the show. So that's something to think about. So I was thinking about mushrooms in a different way. Like one of them is, let me see what I was thinking. I don't want to lose anything. Those images of mushrooms were like just a prompt for you to think about your own stories of mushrooms. Like I dearly remember how I would go with my father in the forest when I was a little kid, and it was raining, and we would, after the rain actually, and we would pick up mushrooms, and I remember the smells and stuff like that, if you are inclined to go towards a narrative. So something that relates to your life, or about poisonous mushrooms, God forbid, if something happened to you, anything about mushrooms, people getting together, having a scrumptious stew of mushrooms or whatever. Yeah. So I want you are artists, and I want thoughts, I want stories, I want you to feel excited and take chances. So another thing I wanted us to think about is that I might mispronounce it, the mycelium. So what you see, the mushrooms themselves are just the fruits. Like you have an apple tree has the apples. So are the mushrooms. They are just the fruits of an organism that goes under the forest bed. And this interconnectedness is something amazing. It's a huge organism, and you can think about how we are connected through the internet. You can think about how are we connected or are we not connected after what we've been through COVID? Is it all right to be one with humanity or better not? So thoughts about connectivity I was inviting. Another one was we can talk about the figurative terms, but they're not the nuclear mushrooms. What do you, yeah, is there? Why they are called mushrooms? Because they are suddenly growing. They are so poisonous. They are so destructive, maybe. That's why they are called like that. But think about the war. There is still war, and it's gonna be war, and for how long is gonna be war? So think about that. Or if you already thought about that, I encourage you to make a smashing piece of art out of it. And I'll be so flattered, that I inspired you or I dredged something. I hope you have good experience though. Or so think about it. Let's talk about mushrooms as medicine. It's been for centuries in some cultures, in shaman culture, they were used as medicine, and how up to, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the 70s, I think they were declared illegal and the research was stopped. But now, fortunately, it started all over again. And more we hear news from other states where treatment is legalized, where there is funding for trial treatment and this and that. And why New York is behind? They legalized marijuana and we struggled along and finally it got legalized here too. So think about that, even in terms of, big pharma. Some of us who suffer from major depression, chronic depression, from PTSD, cancer, I understand, terminal end of life anxiety. All this was proven that it helps with, and it helps without the horrible side effects that we get from the fistful of medicine that we keep on ingurgitating. You can even go thinking about big pharma as a drug dealer. You're the state and we are police. And why is all this? So if this is something that appeals to you, go for it. Because also, because I think it's in the air. I think it's gonna come. And I think if you so feel inclined, and if Fountain House feels inclined, and if we can put our energies together to match the times, it might be that we can contribute to a change, and it might be that we can benefit through treatments during our lifetime. I really want to benefit from them, but I don't know how to go about it alone. So probably in the back of my mind, this mushroom show was also connected with this. But only now I verbalize it as I talk to Becky that is not quite spelled out in the initial invitation. You should know that there are two big congresses, or how to say, big gatherings, in the city in October about these particular things. And doctors from Johns Hopkins Institute from Maryland, where it's legal, and they do this are coming to give speeches, but we can't get there because it's $800, a weekend to get in there. But we have at least one person from Fountain House who will go there, and I applied for a scholarship, so maybe I get in there. What I'm saying is, we can create a whole, along the month of the exhibition, we can create a string of events, a lineup of events. We can have speakers that might be, kind to come here or excited to come here and give us an informed speech. We might have the fun part, cooking mushrooms, we can invite the chef. When we had the show at the table, we had a beautiful collaboration with the two chefs that they came. They did a wonderful spread. So why not have it again, collaboration with the wellness, instead of having these delightful fruit skewers, we should have something with mushroom. So why not have a party in which we dress up? I'm not saying to emulate the 60s. We are in 2020, so it reverberates differently with us, but why not have it? And speaking of that, draw me trips that you had in the past, psychedelic trips, if you had the freedom and the safety to do so. I'm not inviting you to that. I'm just saying it can be wonderful to see your imagination and your experiences. What else? Well, I think I said all the cooking, we would like to have also a storytelling evening in which we had it before, the MOC, which is such a, prominent institution. They had a trainer here and we took part in a workshop of storytelling, and I have a background in storytelling, so I thought about this, but if you want to do stand-up comedy or singing or whatever, we can have a talent show here. It's a beautiful space, and I think it's worth it. So after all that I said here, I really strongly believe, and I put all my effort in it, and Rachel and our team here, though they have so many other projects going on, said that it's a great thing to do. I really think that we could have this show in some shape or form travel. I will see how it pans out. But for now, I think we had relationships with some of the places that I'm thinking about. One of them seems to be Japan, Tokyo, another one London. In Bucharest, I have connections myself in Romania. I think a lot about Amsterdam. I think about California. There is an organization, Creative Growth. Who knows, maybe they would be interested in having a partnership with us. The way Fountain House travels all over the place, why not our artists should not have their work exposed in more places? Now this involves more work. So I invite you, I'll give it my most, but we are frail beings. We never know when we get sick or something happens. So I invite you, whoever feels that this is of interest, that they could participate not just with their artwork, but with organizing, with brainstorming, in whatever form, with liaison, with the wellness department and so on. Please pitch in. And I'm assuming if we pitch in like this, it might count also as gallery volunteering. Yeah. So you have 2 hours a month, 2 hours, yeah. So National California, we were also thinking about Baltimore, where our people went to the conference. And also it seems the clubhouse in Boston is very active. Now, in order to organize this effort, we have to see how we can do it with minimal energy, so we don't fall flat on our faces. So I lined up these things, we'll approach these houses, and then we'll see what pans out. But even if just one pans out, I think it's gonna be a wonderful experience. And so that's one. Should I talk about co-curating, or is not necessary?
Yeah, that's necessary.
Well, we have the deadlines. Excuse me. So we did the postcard for the event, so I believe it's December 9th. The submission is 16th of December.
Yes,
And
and
the-
December 9th is our like media deadline, so if you want to be considered for the postcard, for digital ads, things like that, your submissions are due on the 9th, and then if you want a little bit of extra time and don't care about being on the postcard, the regular submission is on the 16th.
All right. So I think I spoke myself flat, so now.
You have a question, I believe.
Yeah,
So now you have to help me how we do it.
Sheila, you can just unmute and go ahead. No, she'll do
I
it.
wanted to say, Ella, after our conversation and stuff, I know that we weren't writing stuff down at the time. I think you have a really great idea here, and I'm glad you clarified it for everybody, especially a part about the mycelium, that the mushrooms are only part of the bigger plant under the ground, and you could get some ideas artistically from that. But you were saying that you might want speakers and stuff, and you were listing all these faraway places. But I was thinking that just because New York City or New York State is behind legislatively or government, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's not like maybe you could maybe find speakers at some of the medical schools, or like New York Presbyterian and Columbia University, because they do all kinds of studies at both of those places. Plus they have psychiatry departments, and those doctors and professors have opinions, even if they can't prescribe stuff to patients because they're in New York. That doesn't mean they don't know about it. That doesn't mean they haven't studied about it. So you might have sources right here in the city, as well as more holistic places like the Open Center, or I can't think of a place, but like, for lack of a better term, hippie places, places that do, natural stuff, crystals and herbs and all of that. They might have, something useful to add to your discussion.
That's so good. This is registered, so we can take the notes.
Yep.
So Sheila's gone.
I'm here. What?
So how to corral all this information? Do you think you can drop me an email or to Becky or to somebody so that we can, because now I'm all in the jitters of, having a good meeting here, and I love what you said, but I don't think I remember all of it accurately.
Me neither, but luckily this is being recorded. So.
Yeah, but I will say for all other musings, whether they're in person or you think of them later, we do have that email address, which Becky, if you're still here, you can drop in the chat. Is it just mushroom exhibition at Gmail?
Yeah, I forgot.
mushroom.exhibition@gmail.com, which is our own email address about this show, so you can just send any thoughts, questions, or videos, anything like that there. Okay, so we have a question in the gallery, and then we'll go back to online.
Yeah, I love the presentation, and I was thinking, Sheila, yeah, if you could get somebody from Mount Sinai, a neurologist, to see the chemical, the brain chemistry, and mushroom microdosing.
Yeah,
Yeah, the thing is fungi. It's a fungi, so we, like, the microdosing, because that's like a big thing right now.
Right.
Microdosing, and like you said, minimal side effects. They're doing it with ketamine,
Yeah. But it's only if you are lucky enough to get into a trial, and you are not, a lot of us who try to get into those, and they couldn't accommodate us.
Recently, they approved, FDA approved the ketamine, it's hallucinogenic, whatever, but it's ketamine. But that would be so interesting. And another thing that I was thinking, we have the farm, right?
Right.
Okay, can we grow, you don't have to grow the mushroom but mushrooms nonetheless, because there's the variation of mushrooms, right? It's like, I can't even go, the whole thing. So how about growing actual mushrooms?
I think I heard something about it, that they are on their way.
Yeah.
And also, actually, I didn't put that in the notes, but I attended the workshop of growing oyster mushrooms in the New York Restoration Project gardens. I'm a
right.
member, and they gave us a kit, and I grew oyster mushrooms, and I'm sure the gentleman would be interested in collaboration.
Right, it's doing like a photography, like
Right.
how they grow, and the whole thing, the.
Right, but also have mushrooms for us to eat in the culinary.
Right.
So that's cool, no?
Yeah, I think that's a great.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
I agree.
Anybody?
Thank you.
What does this mean?
Ariel?
Questions?
Yeah.
Hi, I just had a question. So, I have a submission. I was wondering if I could send it through email, or do I have to bring it in, or how does that work?
I don't know how it works.
So you can send it to us by email if there are like mobility constraints why you can't get it to the gallery, but we always definitely prefer to have it physically here. And yeah, so that's my answer.
We
Okay.
now have the form to be submitted for the mushroom show. It's the exhibition form and it's on the portal. So if it's a digital file, just like any of us that would take a picture, would submit it through the form.
Okay, thanks.
Can somebody write it down for me? Thank you.
Yeah, we'll give you a copy.
When
of
is
the
that
agenda.
mushroom show? I'm trying to get it on.
In January, January.
Well, what about if I just went on, I haven't found us, can I just look at Sabbath, draw them in colored pencils?
Say again.
Just draw the pictures in colored pencils?
Yeah, you never know, yeah.
Well, there's the fine arts where I could make them look like I want them, whether this, it's an illustration, or I can use I can try to get as close to that as possible, but I haven't really seen mushrooms other than supermodels. I don't really know anything about mushrooms.
Maybe we should buy some mushrooms, I don't know.
I could buy-
But
It's
give
like
a
you're-
whole
you're-
speech about the figura.
Yeah.
I don't know all the different mushrooms. I don't.
Alright, so we should talk more.
What?
Lisa.
Yeah, guys, like we can,
Supermarket.
So let's move to the next person. I see here,
Bulin.
where's Bully?
Yes, I got you. Come on, guys. Give me a nanosecond, damn it.
All right.
All right. So this has really opened up my mind and expanded on what I was thinking to do to approach the theme. I guess you mentioned so many different things, like from the mushroom clouds and walking in the forest and the smell of the mushrooms and medicinal. I'm wondering if you might want to put together a little PowerPoint presentation or something like what I did with my show, because it's hard for me to visualize, like if somebody looked at a painting that I did, like how does that represent these other themes that seem so huge, and it's not a picture of a mushroom, but it's something related. Do you think you could, or people could contribute some pictures of artwork just to give us a jumping off point? So it still looks like it's related to mushrooms without a whole bunch of explanation attached to the painting?
How would I do that? I don't
Well,
know.
if you have resources or images or thoughts and you want to make like a mood board, we can put that online. We can translate
I'm
that.
gonna learn more about it, Bulin, because I was so out of it, the period that you worked on your show, that I don't know if I have the ability to do it. I did a write-up, a more ample write-up, but I think you want visual stuff with it, no?
Yeah, I'm a visual person. Well, if you want to work on that together, just hit me up.
All
It's
right.
pretty easy.
All right.
We can go in maybe to the gallery together and
All right.
Yeah.
Throw something together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have
Yeah.
some books here too. I know Becky ordered the Michael Pollan book, and we have
Yeah.
some other stuff too that we could use as resources.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's
All
talk
right.
about it.
Let's
Thank
go.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. In the room, question? Yes. Christine.
I have a
Hello.
question. Or is somebody else?
Just, yeah, Christine.
My idea was not to go with just mushrooms, but like a world in which mushrooms are there. You know, like little gnomes. A
It
little
all depends on the
mushroom world.
execution, Christina. Christine, so depends how you make it, you know, it sounds great, but then let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. There was Sheila's hand up, as far as I see.
Yeah, I was trying to type them up real quick before I forgot everything. I had several ideas, actually. Let me go back to the chat here and see what I wrote. Okay, let's see. I was thinking that you could collaborate with wellness and get recipes
Yeah.
to use many different types of mushrooms and even have them as munchies at the opening. If you search on the internet for studies about microdosing hallucinogenic mushrooms, Google and social media will start showing you ads and articles. You just have, you just do the search and it will start showing them to you. And every time you click on one, it'll start thinking you want to see more, and you'll get to see more.
Right,
So
right.
social media has groups for everything. If you search Facebook and look for, mushroom groups or growing mushrooms or something, I am confident that you will find groups or microdosing, and people will talk to you and maybe tell you how to get, their ideas or how to get somebody to interview. And the last one that I was typing and when you asked me was, I was just thinking about your beautiful terrariums and the fact that I have actually grown mushrooms on accident. Mushrooms grow very fast. You could, get little aluminum pans or pretty little trays and grow some mushrooms and have them for the show, like on the little platforms and stuff, or in the windowsills or anywhere.
That's so cool. Yeah, I don't know how long they last though, but we can time it. I like it.
So I just wanted to give you those ideas before I forgot. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you, thank you. For those who entered the room at 6 o'clock, we started it earlier, but it's recorded. So I need guidance here because I don't know when we stop and I don't know when we keep on going. So.
Actually, it's the latest here, so you're not gonna. Are there
any questions?
I was just thinking, I have sketch paper at home for art classes. I'm wondering if I could just Google the mushrooms on my tablet and then draw pictures of them.
You can do that, but you compete with other 200 drawings of mushrooms, Louise.
Oh, I'm sorry, then, I have to admit, I don't know much about.
I know yes, you know a lot, and we're gonna talk, but not now, because I'm trying to involve everybody. I'm trying to close also the meeting.
Well, then I'm stuck here. The only thing I can do is think.
Thank you, Ella. Bye-bye.
All right, sweetheart, thank you.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ella. Thanks, everybody.
Keep in touch.
Thanks,
All right.
Ella.
Becky? Becky?
I was, sorry, I didn't know you were closing. I was just gonna say, here, let me see. I put a kind of cool link. There's this big mushroom exhibition that kind of traveled around, and I thought people might get ideas. I have those artists. Sorry, could you mute? I can't hear. Anyway, I just thought maybe some people would get ideas because there was a lot of creative ideas with mushrooms, and even if it doesn't show a mushroom, somebody put like, let me find it, about how there's 36,000 genders in mushrooms or fungi. And so I don't know. I just want the ideas to like flow a little. It doesn't have to be very literal. Because I know we are gonna get a lot of mushrooms, but that was it. And I put it in the chat if anyone's interested. And I'm gonna post this recording on Slack in a couple minutes.
All right, so I really wait. You guys send emails, let's talk. I thank you for coming.
Okay, thank you guys. Bye.
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.
It's okay.